destination is on the right.
Good old cylinder head service. Pulled the engine out of my 2015 STI because it had rod knock.
We got no windows, dude!
Take a look at our new block. Now this is straight from Subaru. April. It's not Christmas time. Try and get this back part opened up so that way I can get it onto the engine stand. And then we'll finish uncovering it once we get it on the stand. Ooh, doesn't get much fresher than this. See what we're working with here. Once you get this unhooked, you kind of have to finagle it around this. It should just come right out now, like that. I'm gonna clean up some of these parts with a little brake clean. And a dirty sock. Clean these pipes up for extra added effect. Put this stuff back on our new block. New seals in here. So we should be good to mount this up. So the torque on this coolant crossover is 56 inch-pounds or 4.7 foot-pounds. So I'm just gonna snug them up with this. Won't go super tight. Nothing crazy. There's a few more things we gotta take off here, including this. Crank bolt too. This crank pulley off, I had to use this. And I went on these flat spots on both sides. And I just pried it back and forth until it came off. You don't want to pry on these because that's what the crank sensor reads off of. So if those are messed up, you're going to be getting check engine lights. Pull this out and it's actually a 24 deep socket. So once that comes out, you're left with this big long thing.
What do you mean by that?
We're going to take this off too. It's also 24 mil. I'm gonna go ahead and just transfer all these bolts I left in the block over to the other one. I did put a little Teflon on this. Hopefully it won't leak. I'm not sure what the torque is on this, but it was pretty tight. This is our old seal. This is our new seal. I cleaned the inside of this really good. And we are gonna give it a little coating of oil before we put it in there. Everything cleaned off, we can go ahead and put this in. Make sure our seal stays where it's supposed to. Torque to 45 foot-pounds. The next thing we got to hopefully remedy why this happened in the first place, I went ahead and got a Killer Bee oil pan and pickup. I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting this installed. So I did put a little bit of blue Loctite on there just to ensure that they don't back themselves out under extreme driving. We gotta put our little spacer in here. Make sure not to drop that in the block. That could be bad time. They say 4.5 foot-pounds is about as much as you want to go. I'm just gonna do a thin layer. I don't want any of the oil ports getting clogged with gasket maker. think I'm supposed to torque these to 7 foot-pounds. I think that's good. And a little more of the sealant came out, so I would say that's a job well done. Here's our oil pump. Here's our hardware and gasket. Alright, so a lot of people take this plate off. I tried to take it off, but these are on here really tight, so I'm not really worried about those backing out. But I would like to prime this. This is actually the inlet. So I'm going to dump some oil in that inlet and rotate this thing just to get some fluid inside. And you can see it's kind of pulling the oil in there. You can pop that plate off and put in grease or Vaseline or whatever you want, but this is a easy way to do it without taking the plate off. So it's about to come out this other side here. I'm actually just gonna try and drain it back in here if possible. So I'm gonna clean this up and get some gasket maker on it and put it on. I did notice all these bolts look to be the same size, so we don't have to worry about figuring out what length bolt goes where, because they're all the same. Before we put this little O-ring in, I am gonna put a little bit of oil on it. And do one last little brake cleaner spray around that seal that we just put oil on. We also want to put a little bit of oil on that seal too, so we can slip around the crank. This wants to be torqued to 56 inch-pounds. I do not have an inch-pound torque wrench, so I'm just gonna snug all these up, let it dry a little bit, and then we'll finish torquing it up. We got the Aisin water pump kit. This is the kit I've been using on Subarus for a long time. Timing belt, all that good stuff. This is what we want out of it. Save this for later. Okay, got our gasket, our seals, water pump. Nice thing about Aisin is right there, made in Japan. Put our seal in. Got that for our thermostat. Now we should be able to just go right on here. These want to be torqued to 10 or 9 foot-pounds, and my torque wrench only goes to 10. So I will be using my arm as a torque wrench. Do this in a little cross pattern. Just snug them up. Click, 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 and click. That's torque. You heard the clicks. I'd call this the top, lined up with this. So put that in there like that. Grab our housing here. Open this up and see if it's what I think it is. There we go. There's our ARP head studs. Follow these directions and get these things installed. we can go ahead and put our gasket on. Now when you put these gaskets on, there's only really one thing you need to line up, which is this top with this coolant hole right there. So as long as you got that lined up, everything else should be good. You just got to make sure that you're clear on everything. We can slide our head on. Now we just got to go through and put a washer on every one of these. Pull a little bit on this nut, some in the threads, and then we'll just put it right on. First torque is going to be 30 foot-pounds. Now we're gonna up it to 60 foot-pounds. Take them all the way up to 90. In order to do the next ones, I have to spin the motor. I'm gonna run a piece of tape lengthwise so these caps don't pop out. I'm gonna let these sit overnight and then torque them tomorrow. Go ahead and put our head studs in. Just like that. Same thing as last time, we got to put all these washers on. Do a little bit of lube on the bottom of the nut and in the threads. Going for 30 foot-pounds. There's 30, now we'll go to 60. Now we'll go to 90. I let this sit overnight. I'm gonna retorque it, make sure everything's still at 90. And go ahead and get these all lubed up as well. Put some in here. Put our cap back on. Arrow facing towards the front. Same thing for all these. RTV in all the places it should be. Trying to keep it out of these journals right here. Go in with some of these bolts. Looks like it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. And pull all these caps out and lube them up. Just like that. Got this gasket maker, you can see pretty light along these galleys here, and I did put some lube on here, so that first start should be nice and easy. There we go. And we got the front ones. Same thing as the other side, we're gonna snug these. Torque those in like 15 minutes. Crank pulley on, they should just slide right on pretty effortlessly. And we can put our top cap on here. We are ready for our cam seal. Just make sure there's no debris in there. Just like that. A little bit further on this right side. You're gonna want to get your RTV here, and these little corners right here, you just put a little bead right here. Put a little bead on this side. And we're going right down here. We're gonna go in these little corners and put a little bead here. Same thing here, a little bead here. I did replace a couple of these PCV hoses. I went ahead and reused the old factory clamps because they're still in really nice shape. New crush washers on all the oil lines. This oil line, all new crush washers. These are the Tomioka block off plates for the secondary air pump. Move to the other side. Go ahead and torque these to 25 foot-pounds. While I'm over here, I did pick this up because Killer B did not send me this. I don't know if that's something they forgot or they just don't include that. $800 and you can't even get this fitting. That's cheap, man. Like cents. We're talking cents.
Pennies. We're talking about pennies.
One of my heat shields, this one, is loose, and that's just going to be a rattle monster if I don't fix it. So I'm going to go tack it up on the welder, and then we can put this on. 28 foot-pounds. I had my buddy Travis with Green Tech Garage stop by, and he grabbed his company 23 Subaru tools, and we torqued these. I think it was 22 foot-pounds and then 45 degrees rotation after. So all these pulleys still need to be torqued down to 29 foot-pounds. If you don't have the company 23 cam tools, you can grab the old belt and just wrap it around whatever gear you're trying to torque, and then you can bring it through here and actually have it be held pretty well to where you can torque these. Put some new seals in here and get the rest of the timing covers back on. The next thing I'm going to do is install this cylinder 4 cooling mod. I need to take this cap out. So once you got your Teflon tape on, you can just thread it right in, and you can use gasket maker if you really want to. The intake manifold set on here. The turbo inlet is attached to the turbo. Pretty much just have to go around now and plug everything back in and make sure all the hose clamps and hoses are back where they should be.
Oh, it's so pretty.
So pretty and new. Got the engine put back together. There is a few things left to take off of this. So make sure you got your notifications turned on.
Do it!
And we'll see if this thing starts next time.